Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon when you're watching this and where you live. This is Teresa. I'm excited to be here with you via this Facebook Live amazing technology. And today I want to give you my take in response to a question that one of my clients asked yesterday. It was simply this: how do I stay informed about what's going on in the world without getting sucked into the fear of the people and the community and the world around me? It's a balancing act we all need to practice. And so, on this video, I want to begin to address that from my perspective and how it is related to abundance. And there's so much here, I started to drop some notes. So I'm going to give you my take on it, not just with some information, but also want to give you an experience, a practice that can support you to do just that. Stay informed and not get sucked into fear. So, first of all, I just invite you to practice something that I am practicing consciously and regularly all the time. It's one of the simplest, most empowering things you can do right now. And that's just take a long, slow, rhythmic, full breath. So let's together here, just take one breath in, just breathe it in all the way up through your nostrils, and then very, very gently exhale it out. Just one more time, just breathe in that oxygen, that life force energy that's here for you right now. And then in case you're feeling any fear or tension or scarcity, just exhale that right out. And as you continue to listen to me and what I want to share, I invite you to just really just keep breathing in that very rhythmic, life-giving, flowing, relaxing manner. So my client's question really has two parts. How do I stay informed? And how do I not get sucked into fear? So one of the things I have taught for years and years and years, I learned it myself the hard way around money, is that clarity always empowers you. Always, always, always. It may not always please you, including what's happening in our world right now, but it always empowers you, because when you don't have clarity, when you don't know, that's when the fear amplifies. And that's one of the reasons why so many are feeling afraid right now, because we don't know. We do not know how long this is going to last. Are our loved ones going to stay healthy? Are we going to stay healthy? How am I going to? There's a lot of I don't know, and in that I don't know comes fear. Now, we're not going to get the answers to those questions here, but I want you to know that clarity always empowers you. Denial, avoiding, sticking your head in the sand, acting like it's not going on, thinking happy thoughts will not, nor will it really take away that fear, those feelings of not knowing. And with that comes a sense of out of control and helplessness and powerfulness. Just sticking your head in the sand doesn't have that go away. It just buries it deeper, but it's there. It's there. You know it, and I know it. So clarity, my friend, always empowers you. But you got to know how to give yourself the clarity that does empower you. In this situation, it's really important you limit the time you're checking in on what's happening. This is not a time to be streaming it all the time, getting all the updates, watching it minute by minute, unless you are in some position of power and leadership where you need to know that so as to make choices and decisions. Okay? That's not me, that's not you. So when you're listening for clarity, what you need to listen for is, what do I need to know now, right now, to be able to care for myself, to care for my loved ones, and do my part to care for my larger community and this global community we're in? What do I need to know now? Yesterday, Wisconsin, the governor executed a stay-at-home order. We were already doing that, but I need to know that because that may impact some things. I want to be aware of that. You need to be aware of it for that. Limited things. I limit myself. I watch the PBS NewsHour in the evening to get the updates, to get the broader picture of what's going on. And that's important too. This is not a time to just like, oh, let me take care of myself and shut the rest of the world out. Seriously, my friends, that's part of what has made this pandemic worse, even worse, is because of that. I'm just going to do what I need to do for myself. Think about people who are still refusing to stay at home and social distance. We are in this together, so we have to think how to take care of ourselves and others. Limit your information. Listen for what you need to know to be able to take care of you and do your part. This morning, I got a download on with Wisconsin Stay at Home, just sharing it with you. Pretty much, I've been quarantined since I got back from LA because I knew I had been at the beginning of the month. So I knew I had been exposed, potentially exposed. And Dan, for the most part, has been the one out to go out on a limited basis to buy groceries and things like that. What I got, because we're trying to flatten this curve together, is that Dan and I are going to implement. We're both healthy, thank God. We live in the country. We're away from people. Social distancing is the norm out here. But what I got for me this morning is when we go out, we're going to try and get what we need for a minimum of 7 days, whoever goes out, and then come back. Why? Because generally symptoms present themselves within the first 5 days. So if we go out into the world, come back and stay at home for at least 7 days, if we don't have symptoms, there's a good chance, not an exact, that we're not a carrier. Great. If we can go longer, we will. That's changing what we have been doing, where Dan's gone into town every 3 days or so. That's my new practice, given the change here in Wisconsin. Stay informed to take care of you and to help care for others. Listen also for clarity, so you can stay connected with what's. Now that's when people get sucked into fear. You look at the statistics without a trained eye about what's happening in New York or Italy, you read those stories, it's going to be hard for you to not go into fear. So listen from this perspective. How can I contribute to this effort here? How can I contribute to what's happening on? That may simply be to send prayer and love to the places that are affected, even if you're not. That may be like there was an article in my Just Getting Information here in Wisconsin. A woman not far from me has started this whole campaign where sewers are uniting on Facebook and they're making masks. Not for medical professionals, not that, but for other people to protect themselves, and they're donating them. Awesome. I'm not a sewer, or I might jump onto that. Who are the people I need to check on? Listen to the news and listen to your own guidance. How can I contribute? Because here's the thing, part of what creates the fear is this feeling of helplessness and powerlessness. And if you can find even one way you can contribute, in addition to safe social distancing, stay-at-home practices, if you can look and glean the news for where you can get that information, that's going to give you more of a sense of contribution and power and not so helpless. Maybe if you're healthy and have been healthy, there's an opportunity for you to volunteer. Or when you go grocery shopping, buy some food for an elderly neighbor and drop it at the door. This is what the information is that you want to listen for, because it allows you, it empowers you through this time. How's that sound? Give me a thumbs up if that's making sense. Maybe you're already practicing it and that's great. Now, how do you do all that without getting sucked into fear? Because it's out there. And if you watch stories or talk to too many people or think about too much, you can get sucked into it too. I know I can. Here's the thing I want you to get, that this might be just a little different. The fear only enters for any of us who are healthy. We're not sick. We're not in the hospital. We're not in a situation of we're affected by the pandemic directly. The fear only happens for you when you leave this moment. Mentally, emotionally, energetically. When you leave this moment. Example, I can watch the stories of what's happening in Italy or New York, and I can literally feel myself being, oh my gosh, what might they be feeling? What might that be like? And I can go off imagining how horrible that may and what that may be like. And I've just energetically and mentally left this moment that I'm in, that's my life. It's not that I don't care, but what I need to do is stay present and anchored and grounded here in my life in this moment. And from this place, send love and energy or donations or contributions or make masks. If I go, oh, what must that be like? Then I've been sucked in. I've left my moment. Now this came up for me this morning. And it may be coming up for you if you see what's happening in parts of this world that makes your heart break. It came up for me. Who am I that I get to be living in the country, still doing a lot of business as usual? I get to go for walks. How come I get to do that? Part of me could feel guilty that I'm not suffering more. And if you're in my tribe, that could be coming up at a subtle level for you too. The answer I got in my prayer was, because you are you, living your life, and this is your path. So the power and the abundance and the potential and the possibility and the life force, not the fear, is in being in this moment. Living right here, right now, the life that is in front of you. For me, that is a lot of business as usual. And am I grateful for that? Yes, indeed, which is another way to counteract the fear. I woke up this morning, I was feeling a combination of some fear, anxiety, and some of that guilt. And I just started listing the things I was grateful, even in the midst of this situation. Grateful for the healthcare workers, grateful for the truckers, grateful for the grocery stores, grateful that the sun, well, it still isn't shining in Wisconsin, grateful that the birds were singing. That's another way to counteract the fear, because it brings you back to this moment and what's true for you in your life right now. Now you may be going, but what if next month or next week or whatever? We ain't there yet, my friends. We ain't there. That's when the fear comes in. Right back here. I've been reminding a lot of my clients about this. It's a question I use in my Claim Your Money Power program, courtesy of one of my coaches, Pat. Every morning I'm using it all the more. It's a powerful question in this pandemic upheaval time we're living in. Take a deep breath, drop in, and ask yourself each morning, do I have all that I need? Notice that's not necessarily all that I want, but do I have all that I need today? Do I have food? Do I have water? Do I have electricity? Do I have a roof over my head? Do I have people I love and people who love me? Do I have information that can help me navigate this? And if the answer is yes, which it will be for many of us, then just for today, you can live in the abundance of today, of that having what you need, of being provided for, of being safe, of being loved. And when the fear comes back, go right back to it. Do I have what I need in this moment? Yes. What's in this moment? That's part of life and abundance. And when we're talking about so much fear and death, what is here in this moment? Truth be told, my friends, I could hang up this video and I could have a heart attack right after I get off. I pray not. I'm not afraid of having a heart attack. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. I really can't control that at some level. I take care of myself, but I can't control that. If I lived my life afraid of having a heart attack all the time, I couldn't live my life. I couldn't enjoy my life. And in all this upheaval, my friends, if you look moment by moment, if you're not in the hospital or in the crisis, there is still much you can enjoy and be grateful for. And the best way to practice that is what our breathing teaches us. Thanks, Shayna. I do not plan on it. I negate that even suggestion. Okay, she said, please don't, to the idea of having a heart attack afterwards. Yeah, okay, but you get the idea. Part of what brings up the fear is we, as Americans especially, do not like feeling helpless and powerless. And to a certain degree, that is our reality. It's not our complete reality because we have the choice of how we're going to respond in this moment. And the most important thing is to be here, to experience what's here. That's the trick. It's what we do every moment of our lives, because that's what breathing is. We breathe in the oxygen that our body needs in this moment. We exhale what we do not need in this moment. And then we do it again. The other thing about breathing is it connects you to your body more. And the fear that you would get sucked into lives in your head. And when you connect with your body more and that flow of life in your body, which I believe from my tradition is the spirit of the divine, this creator of the universe flowing through us, our bodies give us information and guidance, whether it's intuition or guidance from above or a higher consciousness. We cannot connect to that when we're living up here. We have to drop into this moment in our bodies, right here, right now. In this moment, I'm with you. In this moment, I can be aware of birds singing out my window. In this moment, I can stand tall. In this moment, I'm breathing. In this moment, my friends, there's nothing to fear. Not in this moment. And that's all we've got, my friends. That's all we've ever had. This pandemic is exposing the truth of that and inviting us into a more conscious way of living, present to the moment, to life, to ourselves and all of our human emotions, and to each other. And most of all, to the one who created us and this entire universe. Which I've been having some people ask me lately as well is, well, where is God in all of this? I might give you my take on that tomorrow. But for now, I want you to know that love and life and abundance and well-being and peace and freedom is here for you in this moment. And to help you practice that and experience that and let that in, we're going to take, I know I went a little long today, but I had a lot to say. I just invite you to join me in taking 1 minute of closing your eyes. If you hadn't been consciously breathing, go right back to this and let everything that I've shared with you, just let it sink in. As you breathe in the oxygen that gives you life in this moment, you exhale what you no longer need in this moment. And then in the next moment, you do it again. Let's do that together for 1 minute. And as you do so, just listen to your body, to your heart, and see if there's some message or guidance or prompting that you may get in this moment that will help you navigate through these times with peace, empowered, trusting that somehow through it all, love is at work and new life will emerge on the other side. So let's take 1 minute together, my friends. Just being still. Be aware of what's here with you in this moment, the chair you're sitting in or the floor beneath you, the sounds around you, the feeling, the sensation of that breath, that life force flowing through you. In this moment, my friends, you have all that you need for this moment. In this moment, you can experience peace. Be well. I will be back tomorrow, perhaps diving into that murky waters of where is God in all of this. Again, I'll probably have a unique take. I would love to hear from you. How did this support you? Me coming on and addressing a question. Was it valuable? Did it reinforce anything? Did it help you feel more empowered and peaceful? And what in particular really resonated with you? Please share them in the comments. I love to engage with you, and blessings on you all. Be safe, be smart, be well.